Questions are being raised again about the Trump administration's vetting process after new documents show Russian entities paid the president's former national security advisor tens of thousands of dollars. Michael Flynn resigned last month after just 24 days on the job, after it was revealed that he misled officials about the nature of his conversations with Russia's ambassador. The concern now is whether Flynn properly disclosed these payments to the administration. Jeff Pegues reports.
That's right, lock her up.
Just 2 months before retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn began advising the Trump campaign, he traveled to Moscow to attend a gala where he was seated right next to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Today, the top Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, Elijah Cummings, released checks, emails, and invoices that showed Flynn was paid almost $34,000 to attend the event by RT, a media company the CIA has said engaged in a Kremlin-directed campaign to undermine faith in the U.S. government.
It begs the question, why would President Trump allow him to be in his inner circle, receiving top secrets of our government?
In a statement, a spokesman says Flynn, the former head of the Defense Intelligence Agency, notified and briefed the DIA before his trip to Russia and again upon his return.
And that just wasn't acceptable to me. Yes.
President Trump fired Flynn after just 24 days as national security advisor when it was revealed Flynn lied to Vice President Pence about conversations he had had with the Russian ambassador to the U.S. And it's not just his connections to Russia that have raised questions. Just last week, Flynn retroactively registered with the Justice Department as an agent of a foreign government. He had a $600,000 lobbying contract with a company with ties to the Turkish government. In addition, Flynn received over $11,000 from a Russian cargo airline. And Elaine, he was also paid $11,000 from Kaspersky Labs. That's a well-known cybersecurity company with ties to Russian officials.
So, Jeff, give us some context here. How significant is this information?
Well, it raises more questions. As you know, there was this ongoing investigation into contacts between members of the Trump campaign or Trump representatives and Russian officials. So these are developments that just raise more questions.
Well, has Flynn made statements in the past about the payments?
Well, over the last 6 months, he has been interviewed about this issue, and each time he didn't reveal the source of the payments. He talked about the fact that his speaker's bureau was paid, but never really talked about where the money was coming from. And that's why these revelations are new here. He also never really disclosed the amount that he was paid publicly.
And Jeff, do we know, did anyone else go on the trip to Moscow with Lieutenant General Flynn?
Well, looking at the letter from Congressman Cummings that was sent to the president, it turns out that Mike Flynn Jr., Michael Flynn, the former national security advisor's son, went with him and was making some of the arrangements, according to the House Oversight Committee investigators. And so he was a person who went with his father, and you might remember his name because he was fired during the transition for spreading fake news on his Twitter account.
And Jeff, finally, do we know yet, is there enough information to tell whether there were any laws broken here?
Well, we'll have to see here, but as I mentioned, this is something that raises more questions, and the fact that Congressman Cummings has released this letter in a very public way, it was addressed to the president, it shows that he believes at least that this is important. We'll just have to see what other members of Congress think and really what investigators determine about this as well.
All right, Jeff Pegues in Washington for us. Jeff, thanks.